So here we are facing the half wedge shot. I've got a 40-yard shot here to the pin. The key to this shot is distance control. You really don't hook and slice your half wedge shots. You're not really missing left and right, but you do miss short and long due to poor contact. If you're hitting it fat, you're obviously going to come up short, and if you thin the ball, you're going to go over the green. So in order to get those 40 yards, to get that proper distance control, I have to make sure that I make solid contact. And in order to make solid contact, I've got to get my divot past the golf ball. So what I'm going to do in my setup and during my swing is all going to be geared towards getting that divot past the golf ball. When I set up to this ball, I'm going to go ahead and place it right in the middle of my body. You can think of it as even with the buttons of your shirt or your belt buckle. I set the ball up in the middle of my body, and then I put just a little bit more weight on my left foot than my right. During my backswing, I'm going to go ahead and load up even more weight on my left foot. So if you think of maybe 55% of your weight on your left-footed address, by the time you get to the top, it's going to be more like 65 or 70% of your weight on your left foot. And then what you're going to do from there is you're going to go ahead and pivot around your left leg. You can see as I'm doing this, I'm brushing the grass past the golf ball. If I move my weight too far to the right, I move my center to the right, I have my divot too early. I can either hit it fat or I can catch it on the upswing and hit it thin. I love to use hula hoops as examples. It really helps people understand where the bottom of your swing is. We're looking to have the bottom of the swing just past the ball right here. If I move my center, I'm moving the bottom of the swing back, and I can either hit the ground first or catch the ball in the upswing and hit it thin. In order to make sure that I can get the bottom of my swing past the ball, I want to make sure that I'm always staying centered and moving my weight forward. Let's go ahead and hit this shot. I set up with the ball in the middle of my stance, weighted a little bit more on my left-footed address, and then I go ahead and load more weight onto my left foot as I go back, and then pivot around my left leg. Beautiful shot, divot, past the golf ball, a nice compressed shot, good distance control. So to review, I'm going to put the ball in the middle of my stance, weight a little bit forward. As I swing back, I'm going to load more weight onto my left leg and then pivot around my left leg. Solid distance control because my divot was past the golf ball. A great drill to learn how to get your weight on your left leg is simply to take your setup, ball in the middle of the stance, and then pick up your right foot and put it up on your toe. And now learn how to make a golf swing around your left leg. So again, set up in the middle, up on the right toe, pivot around the left leg. I hit golf ball first, and it really gives me the feeling of pivoting around my left leg, and I can get my divot past the golf ball and really get good distance control. So let me leave you with this last thought here. Sometimes you have to hit your partial wedge shot 40 yards, sometimes you have to hit it 60, sometimes you have to hit it 70. There's always a different distance. Now some people like to just make different length backswings and hit the ball different distances. I think that's a good method. The method I like to use is where you actually change the speed of your swing. I like to take the club back to what I call a 9 o'clock position, so where your left arm is parallel to the ground, and then I could pivot through at different speeds. I'm going to go ahead and hit a couple here. You've seen me hit the 40-yard shot. I'm going to go ahead and hit a 60-yard shot. And I'm going to make the same length backswing, but I'm going to pivot through a little faster. There's 60. Let's go ahead and hit a 75-yard shot. Now I'm just going to push the accelerator a little bit more as I pivot through a little faster. And there's 75.